My name's Gary. I'm a grateful, recovering alcoholic and drug addict. I just recorded like half a video, and then my dog and cat got in a fight. I'm ready to kill them right now. But so I'm back, and I'm checking in. I'm an addict and alcoholic in recovery, and I lost my son tomorrow. It'll be 30 days to an accidental fentanyl overdose, and I've remained sober through that. Intense news and intense pain. This kid and I were connected at the deepest level. I mean, he suffered with this thing called addiction. I'll just leave it at that. I don't want to talk too much about my son, and I'm just being real, okay? And trying to let you know that I understood my son and he understood me. And he was getting to that point of, he was real stubborn like me. I'm 56, and I've been in and out of AA my whole life. Not to say AA doesn't work, as I didn't work AA, and I had a relapse on medication, and I was out 10 years, and I almost had 10 years of sobriety at the time. So, but it's been really hard. But I've been able to stay sober, and I just want to touch base and tell you how I do it, Well, through the death of my son, it's given me this extra. I started these videos with the intent to show the new guy, hey, look, it's possible, man. Look what I'm doing. Hey, guys, look at me. Look what I'm doing. And then this thing hit, this news with my son. And if you watch some of these videos, subscribe. You can hit the subscribe button, and I would love if you did, because we can all do this together and talk back and forth together. And I've been getting great comments and just amazing following so far. But the way I've been able to do this is, first of all, I go to meetings, I work 12 steps, and I'm excuse me, I'm putting myself into service. I'm trying to step outside of self. Like, I wasn't working with, like, on Saturday and Sunday, I wasn't like working with another alcoholic, but I threw myself into the service of this foundation, and I was like gathering information for, police departments and police chiefs and people that, targeted to talk to, and talking to my dear friend Vicky, who started the foundation, and stepping out of myself and working on trying to do other stuff, okay, for other people. And it doesn't, we don't always have to work just with alcoholics. We can do other things. So I've been trying, I've been working on that, and I've been working with other alcoholics and talking to other alcoholics, and going to people for guidance, and going to the new guy and trying to help him out on these videos. And so excuse me, I've been suffering asthma with the weather here in Austin, Texas. It's brutal right now on my asthma. And I was at Austin City Limits last night. I'll go into that real quick after I tell you a little bit about how I'm doing this. So I work 12 steps. I go to meetings, and I've been doing these online meetings too for, it's my old home group in Laguna Beach, and I've been popping into those things. So I did a couple meetings today. I did one online in the morning, and I did one in person. I just got home from it, and man, I had shared today about, somebody had shared about Bill Wilson, and that kind of sparked something in me, and so I wanted to share a little bit. And so I shared a little bit about, my gratitude towards these two founding members of Alcoholics Anonymous, the two guys who fired this thing up, and what a movement it's been. Then I wanted to check in and let everybody know how I'm doing, because there's people in the room that know what I'm going through, and I'm getting to know these people because I've only been here 4 months. And I lost it, man. It just came out of nowhere, you know. I'm still grieving. And again, this happened a couple weeks ago when I shared. I'm sharing, and it just struck me because, not to get into my son's story or anything like that, I just shared how similar we were and how deeply connected we were and how deeply we understood each other. And we were just developing this relationship because of our addiction. And my cat and dog are in here, and you guys are going to get it, man. You guys are going to get it. They are totally pissing me off right now. But so I shared about that, and I just broke down. Because I remember, you know, my kids were raised in AA. I was sober almost 10 years, and, you know, I would bring these guys to meetings with me. I mean, if I had them for the weekend or I had them for a week or whatever, Brandon lived with me for long periods of time, and, you know, he'd go to meetings with me, and he would wait outside in the coffee bar and like drink soda, and I'd give him like $20 and he'd be playing video games and, you know, getting all jacked up on candy, right? But everybody knew, he knew everybody, you know, and everybody knew him. But when we would argue, and you know, even up until recently, man, it's like, I'd say, man, you need just go to some meetings and get sober, man. And you go, I'm not fucking like you, Dad. And he said that since he was young, man. I'm never gonna fucking be like you, so don't put your shit on me. So I'd have to back off. So he was a real tough customer, man. I'm sure my parents say the same thing about me. But I loved him, and I loved him the best way I knew how to. And I made mistakes, and I did a lot of good things for him too. So, you know, talking about that stuff helps me stay sober. Hopefully, you know, you guys, somebody in this crowd will you know, get something from this, hopefully. I've got a lot to offer. You know, I'm new. You know, I hit 5 months over the weekend, guys, which is a miracle considering what I've been going through with the death of my son. And I haven't wanted to drink. I've had a couple of brief thoughts, but that's it. And nothing like, you know, pulling me, you know, I'm going to, you know, pull him in or anything like that. Just brief thoughts, you know, because I'm in a lot of pain. And that's what we do, man. We fucking numb ourselves. But I haven't felt compelled to even think about it, you know. And isn't that a miracle? Think about that, man. I'm a guy who, when I got sober with COVID, I'm not going to get too graphic, but I was dying, you know. My arms, because I started injecting amphetamines, both arms were swollen to the point where I couldn't bend at the elbow. Like if I wanted to drink something, I had to put it on the table and drink it through a straw. And I remember like eating, like, you know, it was so fucking painful, man. Both arms were infected, you know, and veins were flattened, and it was humiliating. If anybody that knew me saw me, it's absolutely humiliating. Makes me cringe. But I keep it up front, you know, because I'm going to help more people with that story, with it up front and talking about it, than I am hiding it and making myself look good. You know what I mean? You know, it's humiliating to say, you know, I was using the needles and I was, you know, harming myself like that. But so I was a guy who could not stop doing that. I went the last 4 years, right, without drawing a sober breath, whether it was with amphetamines, whether it was with alcohol, weed, whatever, whatever you got that night. And it just didn't matter. I'd given up. I thought God gave up on me, but I kept praying, God, please make me willing whenever I remembered. It wasn't every day, and it wasn't any fucking spiritual guru. It was when I remembered and when I was hurting. God, please, please, man, begging. And then wake up to do it again. I thought he just forgot about me, and I was just, I was dying. So, so a guy that bad, right, that I used a substance every day for 4 years. Okay? And now I haven't used anything through the death of my son. Haven't even wanted it, right? At all. I've thought about it twice, I think. And isn't that a miracle? So how does that happen? So I'll tell you how it happened, okay? And it's not what we want to hear. I got on my knees. I prayed. Once in the morning, once at night, sometimes throughout the day. But I usually, throw one up there in the morning, say, God, please help me keep me sober today. Help keep my behavior in check, and help me be useful, And then I go about my day. And that's so minimal. I mean, that's so minimal. And then I tell him thank you at night, because I know that I can't do that on my power. I've tried for 4 years, man. And as good as I could get was like 8 hours, So, it's amazing. So I prayed to God, and then I asked him to give me strength to go to a meeting, because I don't think for my first month I went to a meeting. Maybe my first 3 weeks I never went to a meeting. I was talking to a couple of guys on the phone in AA. And that kind of got me back into it a little bit. And then I was like, I went to a meeting, and it was like home, And then tonight I was in a meeting crying in front of some people I barely knew, and then some people I didn't know at all. And people came up to me. A guy came up to me tonight, and he said he had a big fucking scar right over his eye, right? And it was a fresh one, a nice one. Like that, it did just pull the stitches on this motherfucker, right? And, he had gotten, I don't want to share, but, he had gotten in a scuffle with his son, okay? But he came up to me, and we chatted, and I appreciate that, because people don't know what to say when you've lost your son. And, they come up, when the people that do, they're real humble, and they're like, I don't know what you're going through, but if I can help you or anything, just let me know, because you don't know. It was kind of like, until you've been there, you don't know. So it's crazy. So I know I'm going to be able to help people with that story, with how bad I was of a drug addict and drunk, how bad it got. And I'm going to help with my relapses. I'm going to be able to help with the therapy that I went through. I'm going to be able to help with my experience, not your experience, not anybody else's, mine. I'm not unique, but I have my unique circumstances that I've been through that are going to be helpful if I let people know about them, right? I let people know about my story. This is what happened. This is what it was like. This is what it's like now. And that's how it works. So I'm at 14 minutes and just babbling on, but that's how I do it. I do it Alcoholics Anonymous, helping others, and prayer. So do the 5-day God challenge, okay? There's, like I said, just get on your knees for 5 days, once in the morning, once in the evening. If you think God's forgot about you, if you don't believe in God, believe that I believe. Look what he's doing with me. I'm not bullshitting anybody. I think I think that I've watched some of my videos, and I think that I am genuine, you know, I'm not, you know, I look at some of these other videos, and, you know, people are, you know, with these high production shit and everything. You know, I'm just a regular guy, and I'm going through the death of my son, and I'm a fucking hopeless drug addict, right? That can't stop doing drugs and alcohol on his own power. And I've amazingly, walking through the death of my son, I haven't even thought about it, doing drugs. So if you want to gain that kind of power, it's God. That's it. It's God, and you find God in the 12 steps, and you find him in the rooms of Alcoholics Anonymous. So get on your knees for 5 days and ask God to reveal himself to you, and I promise you something's going to happen. Just be open to it. Now, I want to check in on my, for people that have been watching, right? I went to Austin City Limits last night. I went to go see Casey Musgraves and the Red Hot Chili Peppers. And what a fucking bullshit thing that they put them both on different stages across the whole, you know, one is like on this side of the park, and the other is on this side of the park. And it's like, God damn it. So I know I didn't see Casey Musgraves, and I hope she forgives me. She probably missed me a lot, right? I know I missed her, trust me. But my son and his girlfriend, they didn't want to, you know, they wanted to see Chili Peppers, and, you know, we don't know, you know, if Chili Peppers is even going to play ever again, you know, so, or, you know, if they're going to come around again. So, it was probably a once in a lifetime thing for us. And you know, it wasn't like you could just run back and forth. There was like 200,000 people in between the two stages. So we saw Chili Peppers, and my God, man. First, they were having a little bit of sound issue, but then, I mean, they all look great. They all look great. Flea's an animal on the bass, man. He's a complete animal on the bass, and, you know, you're sitting there watching, and we were up as far as you can go without being VIP. And so you're watching Flea just jumping around the stage, man, on that bass, and it was just sick. He's so awesome. So they all are, you know, they all do their thing, and they do it well. So that's all for this evening, folks. And keep tuning in. Please subscribe. All right. We do this thing together. Don't do it alone. Don't do it alone. It's who would want to? I mean, there's so many gifts out there. God works through human beings, and the joy, the love, and hope, all that stuff comes through human beings, man. So thank you, good night, and I will check in with you guys in another day or two. Thank you for your support, man. I couldn't do it without your guys' support. You guys have been unbelievable, you know. Thank you.